Okay, this was huge. I still can't fully believe all this theory. And I don't know why, but something tells me that it might be wrong. That must be something the writers didn't notice when they were creating the story, or some issue like that. But the thing is, the pieces are right there, in front of all of us. What could it be? Did I do it on purpose, or how could it happen? It's an interesting theory and a little crazy, I'd say. But let me explain. If you're ready, let's begin. I originally didn't know where to start with all this theory, because some very clever among the writers decided to hide not only creepy stuff like everything related to Syndrome and the government. For more reference, see my first video, you will love that one. But also some less disturbing things, I'd say, but not enough irrelevant to not mention them. And the thing is, do you see some similarities or kinships between some characters in the movies? Like, how come your own daughter not only doesn't look like you or even like your wife, but strangely look a lot similar to some very close friend of your wife? And that's not it, because you're not precisely Mary Magdalene. Do you see something in this little kid? Doesn't he look so familiar to someone you know? And I know what you might be thinking. They were just assets, something that can be replicated to save some money or time when practicing. And I'd say, okay, but what about this? Or this? Or this other one? Were they all generic assets too? Even with some scenes where there were a lot of characters in the scene, all of them were different from each other. Too different. But we can also see some extra details that can actually help to believe in this theory. Well, let's start from one of them. The first moment we see Syndrome in the scene is right after Mr. Incredible saves the cat and stops these criminals, saying only that he recognized the kid from the fans club, almost as if he had no idea who the kid was. Then we see the kid again when Bon Bajaj is trying to rob the bank, showing his new invention, the flying boats, mentioning that he could be Mr. Incredible's assistant, like a Robin for a Batman. And honestly, having that intelligence, I would at least consider it, if it just wasn't for the merciless of some villains that are willing to kill little children. And that might be a very good reason. Okay. But Mr. Incredible could have had a different and even more important one. Because just after saving the kid's life, he asked the police officers to take him to his mother. His mother! Not his parents, not to take him home. He says so specifically to let his mother know what the kid just did. Almost as if Mr. Incredible knew either that the kid had no father, or as if he knew who the kid mother was. Because of course, being a superhero, Mr. Incredible had a lot of enemies. Something that will put in a terrible danger to anyone related to him. That's why they all got secret identities. And in order to protect his son, still in quotes, he would need to hide all information related to him and his mother. And you might think, but his other sons have superpowers, but the kid Incredible didn't. And yes, but not really. At least not entirely. Because he was clever. So clever. Actually, clever enough to create technology never seen before. Technology that was advanced enough to stop superheroes from moving. Not even Mr. Incredible with his strength was able to escape it. But later in the movie we see something that clarifies things a little bit. And for good, I'd say. Because right there, when we see the adult version of Syndrome, we finally see some difference between them. Now, Syndrome having red hair, while Mr. Incredible was still blonde. And that's why I still can't fully believe at least this part of the theory. There are a lot of missing information that could help to confirm anything. But this second one is way more difficult to ignore, and almost seems to be true. And the thing is, as we can see in the same bedroom of Mr. Incredible, there are some family pictures. Some of them with Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. But tell me, what is a, let's say, close friend picture doing there? And right in front of the family pictures, Is that friend so important to the family or somehow to Helen that it has such an important place? Or is he perhaps something else? I know we don't see anything else from him in the whole movie, and this is the only physical reference we can take. From here, we cannot really conclude anything. But don't you see some similarities too? I mean, our grandparents can inherit us some things like that, but there is absolutely nothing related to them in any of the movies, so we cannot really take that into account. But be it Mr. Incredible blonde and Helen red-haired, why is your daughter dark-haired? At least in the picture, being black and white, we can confirm that Helen's friend was dark-haired too. So that's the only thing that would make the whole theory impossible. And for some reason, I am pretty sure that if this theory was more popular, the creators would definitely change his hair color to avoid any criticism. Because in fact, he was meant to be included in the movie, to have a more important role. But they removed him. The question is why? Is it possible that even the creators noticed something? Interesting, right? But I don't know. What do you think? Pretty sure theory I'd say, but not enough irrelevant to not mention it. Don't you think? I'd like to know your opinion. I'll read you in the comment section. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. I am the Dark Agent, and I'll see you again.